All right, y'all. After much persuasion, we finally got this beast up out of there. So, what's good, grind schoolers? It's your boy Rob, and we back in the shop today. So, today what we got going down is, man, Dash just came through. He brought me the engine hoist. We were going to try to pull the motor today, but we ran into a dilemma. So our dilemma is the bell housing bolts for the transmission. They're really not accessible. You know what I'm saying? They're really difficult to get to. So unfortunately, with the way the days are working, you know what I'm saying? Like the sun goes down earlier, you only get a couple good hours of sunlight where it's warm enough to like really actually be working, at least in the confines of where I have to work at. You know what I'm saying? I have to have the garage open. I have to, you know what I'm saying, be, half in the garage, half out of the garage. It's not like I'm working in the garage with the heater going and all that kind of stuff, because I am trying to pull the motor out and obviously don't have enough space with the garage closed. And now the sun is starting to not necessarily go all the way down, but around about 4 or 5 o'clock, it starts to get real cold. The weather turns really fast. So it was nice earlier today, and we did get kind of far. I did get the bell housing cover or torque converter cover off of there. I did unhook the motor mounts. We did get the top plate off of the transmission, or not transmission, the radiator mount. We got that off. Unhooked a couple of other things. I got the starter out. So we did make a little bit of progress, but we are still not all the way there yet. So I think what we decided to do was we are going to go ahead and take the core support out, and we're just going to take the motor and transmission out together. It'd just be a lot easier to do it that way. That's the way we did it in Monte Carlo. And I'll flip the camera around, show you guys what I'm talking about. But we did get everything that needed to be done. Oh yeah, we also unhooked the torque converter from the flex plate. We did do that. So everything pretty much got taken care of. So we're almost there. Almost got the motor out. I'm gonna try to work on it tomorrow. Try to get it out tomorrow. I don't know if I'm going to be able to or not. I really only have like a couple connectors to get off, and the bolt on the cross member on the transmission, and the core support, and then everything else can come out. So I'll flip the camera around. I'll show you guys where we're at, what we got done, and then, you know what I'm saying, like, we'll go from there. But before we jump to the video, go ahead, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Yeah, let's get to it. All right, y'all. So like I said, I got the starter out this time. I got the cover for the torque converter and out of there, flex plate, you know what I'm saying, the thing that covers up all of that. Engine hoist is here. We got the chain hooked up to the engine, got it ready to come out. Everything is pretty much disconnected. We did, what the hell? Oh, the drawer opened up. So we got to take the core support out with the radiator. Radiator's already drained out, so that's not a big deal. We're already gonna replace this radiator hose. So not too big of an issue with everything that has to happen. Now that we are going to do this a little differently, I have to figure out a couple of other things, because this bracket here goes to the transmission. I guess it would just have to come out together. So pretty much maybe what I'll do is I will let me think here. Sorry y'all, I'm kind of thinking through this, because if I disconnect it from the radiator, these are transmission cooler lines, so they're hooked up to the transmission, and if I take the transmission out, those will be poking out, coming out with everything. So I think, yeah, I have to unhook the transmission cooler lines from the transmission. So I'll do that. I'll unhook the cross member, the bolt or transmission from the cross member. We'll do that. The reason why I said that, like, I wanted to do it that way is because I don't want to try to pull the motor out and have those, because they're so far in front of the motor, it's just gonna be a lot trying to, you know, worry about those. I actually, you know what? I don't even have to worry about those because they're not hard lines. They're flexible. Oh no, never mind. Yeah, never mind. They're flexible. So I think since they're flexible, I'll go ahead and probably flip them back on top of the motor, and then I'll take them out when we get the motor and stuff out. I did replace these ones here on this side. That side needs to be replaced, so we'll do that. Like I said, we'll take all these bolts out everywhere, get the core support out of here, and then we'll pull the motor. So I think that's what I'm gonna work on tomorrow, is just getting the core support out of here, get those other connectors out of there, and then I'll unhook the transmission from the cross member. And I think after that's said and done, we should be ready to pull this out of here. I'll cover up the bumper so I don't scratch it or nothing like that, with like something soft. And then after that, we'll go ahead and work on getting that out. And then I'll go ahead and this is messed up here. I'll probably fix these fan shrouds. I got some plastic weld. I'll try to probably fix that while it's out of the car. I'll replace the motor because that motor is messed up, I think, so that can come out. And then once all that stuff happens, then we will attach it to the engine stand. Got the engine stand in the other day. Was it the other day or yesterday? The other day. Got it in the other day and put it together, so it's sitting here ready to accept the motor. And then once we do that, man, it's good to go. So I'm trying to get this thing ready within the next couple of weeks. It shouldn't take too much longer than that. It's not really that big of a deal to rebuild a motor. And then once it goes back into the car, everything is just connecting everything, making sure everything runs and it's good to go. And yeah, I think the longest part of this will be getting the fender liners out, or the fender wells out, scuffing everything up, and then just shooting everything in here, cleaning it up, making it look nice, pretty presentable, even though you can't really see anything. And then also all of this wire loom that you see that's plastic and brittle and stuff like that, we're gonna cut all of that out, and we're gonna replace it with the new mesh new mesh wire covers or whatever. And then we're gonna replace every single hose in here is getting replaced. Every single one of them. You can see, like, when they start to bubble up like that, you can really see this one, like it bubbles up like that. It swells up. It's pretty much a done deal. You know what I'm saying? It shouldn't look like that. And so since they are like that, we're gonna replace it. So anyways, and then also too, like all the hoses like this, where it's like, you know, a little bit harder, where it can start cracking and stuff like that, we're gonna replace all of that so that we don't have no vacuum leaks, nothing. And when I put this back in, I want this to run flawlessly. I want to be able to go wherever I want to go and, you know, be good. So that's the plan here. Yeah, I mean, I don't really have too much else to say until we start working on getting this out. So stay tuned. I'm probably just gonna work through everything. I'll probably show y'all once we get this core support out. Might time lapse that, but after that, you know, the motor is ready to come out. So we are definitely working. We're definitely getting to, you know what I'm saying, where we need to get to. So stay tuned. All right, y'all. So this is like 2, maybe even 3 weeks later after initially starting this. You know what I'm saying? I got caught up with a lot of things I had to do. I've been super busy. We got caught up with some real good cold, about 0 degrees and all that kind of stuff, but it's 60 degrees now, so we're good to go. I got everything pretty much out the way. I think I got everything disconnected. I do still have to disconnect the wiring that's going to the transmission, and I have to disconnect the what else? I have to disconnect, oh, the shifter that's going to the transmission. And there's one other connector that's going into the oil pump or the oil pan. So I got to disconnect that as well. And then we should be good to go, man. Start pulling this thing out. Yeah, I don't really see anything too troublesome just yet. I hope I don't run into nothing too troublesome. Probably this will probably have to be loosened up. Yeah, I'll loosen that up real quick. As you can see, I got the core support out. I'll probably put the car on the ground too, because it is, I don't want the engine I don't want the engine to be all, 5 feet in the air type, you know what I'm saying? I know it's gonna be a hassle trying to get that transmission level. I'm thinking about using this little level thing because I am doing this by myself. So I'll probably use that to kind of level it off so that I'm not having the transmission super dipped. But yeah, for the most part, I think we're good to go. I got to get this back to dash, so that's why I'm trying to get this out today. I'm about to pull this tarp up to cover up this stuff so that I can slide up under there and get the rest of everything disconnected. And then once I do that, it'll be time to hook this up, and then hopefully this thing goes smooth. All right, y'all, I took the whole entire front bumper off just to give me easier access in here, because what's happening is I got the engine out off of the motor mounts, but it's just not enough like access, you know what I'm saying? The Impala, the front bumper like comes way out here, you know what I mean? So I'm really stretching the engine hoist to try to get in there. And then also too, this what is it called, leveler thing is like running into the firewall. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna push the engine hoist up further so that I can have a little bit better access to the motor, and then I'll lift it up out of there and then just start pulling it back. Man, I think everything is pretty much out of there. I know the transmission is still getting hung up on the what do I want to say, cross member, so I got to get that out. And then it looks like some type of bracket back there is getting hung up too on the back of the motor somehow, so I got to figure that out. But other than that, man, I should be able to lift it, pull it, and we should be good to go. All right, y'all, I think I finally got this mug free. Got the cross member taken out of there, got the exhaust unbolted, so that shouldn't be a problem. The motor's moving a lot more freely now than it just was. I don't know why it took me so long to get to this point, but you know, it is what it is. There is a line on the back that I'm a little concerned about that I can't really reach. So I'm going to just take my time, man, start pulling it forward, and then hopefully this thing comes right on up out of there. So let me go ahead and move these lines out the way so nothing gets snagged, and then we'll go ahead and start pulling it. Y'all, after much persuasion, we finally got this beast up out of there. So you know what I'm saying, like I had some hang-ups and I was just taking my time, so that's what y'all saw me do. Let me put this down real quick. Y'all saw me taking my time pulling it out because I didn't want to snag anything, rip anything. These exhaust manifolds were getting in the way. That's one thing that was getting in the way. I just didn't want to pull on any of the wires, so I was pulling it out, taking my time, pulling it out. But now we can access the whole engine bay. We'll clean all this up. I'm about to disconnect the transmission. That was my biggest dilemma, was just disconnecting the transmission from the motor itself. That was our issue. So I couldn't get to the engine mounts, or the mounts that go to the transmission and the engine. So what I'm gonna do is now I'm gonna disconnect the transmission, and then I'm gonna go ahead and finally put the motor on this bad boy. So let me get to work so I can go ahead and finish this on out. And finally, this motor is out, y'all. And I wish I was throwing an LS in here, but you know what I'm saying? Like I said, I'm gonna just rebuild this and we gonna call it good. So I guess I could just unhook the zip ties, and then I don't think, yeah, it's not hooked up to the motor at all. So I'll unhook the zip ties, and then I'll just pull this back, and so I can close the garage and everything, and that'll be good, man. Finally got that thing up out of there. All right, y'all. Got this on the engine stand. Now comes the fun part, breaking it down, tearing it down, putting it back together, and replacing what needs to be replaced. Cleaned up all these hoses and stuff like that. It's gonna be so much easier getting to everything now that the motor's out of there. So yeah, we just gonna clean up. I'm gonna take my time. That was the biggest task there, was just getting the motor out. Now, once it's nice and clean, we can just dip it right back in there, make sure everything is out the way, and it should come together a little bit better. But for the most part, here we go. That's it, finally. All right, grind schoolers, man, that's gonna be it for this video. I started this video like a month ago. I ain't gonna hold y'all. Like I told y'all in my last video, I kind of had got burnt out. Today was a little bit nice. So I was just like, you know what, time to just knock it out, man. Knock it out, get it done, get the motor out. I still gotta kind of play with the engine stand to get one of the arms on there. I don't know why it's not like going on there like I need it to go on there, but you know, it is what it is. We'll figure it out eventually, like the adjustments and stuff like that. But I just wanted to get the motor out so that I could start tearing it down, rebuild it, and yeah, so I think we did a good job, man. I didn't really tear anything up. I didn't rip anything. I didn't break any connectors. I didn't break any plastic pieces. The only mishap was that little small piece that has a little tear in it. And unfortunately, it just is what it is. I'll try to see if I can get it fixed, or if I can't get it fixed, I'll just get a new one. But for the most part, man, you know, I'm happy. I'm happy because it's finally out of there. Like I said, I wish I was putting in a LS motor, but you know, we're gonna tear this one down. We're gonna rebuild it, and then when I'm ready to go LS, then I'll go LS. But if that even ever happens, but yeah, man, and you know, yeah, like I said, it's just, this is what it is. We finally got that thing up out of there, man. So I hope the glare is not too much. I just stepped over here to see the engine bay. So we're gonna replace the motor mounts. We're gonna replace the AC compressor. We're gonna replace all the wire loom with the braided kind. We're gonna clean all of this up. We're gonna pressure wash it. We're gonna paint it, make it look real nice. We're gonna take the wheel wells out. So it's gonna be a little bit of a process, you know, but the hard part is done. Now we just gotta clean everything up, paint everything, get everything where it needs to be. And then once I tear everything down, tear the motor apart, rebuild the motor, then, you know, things can go back together. I'm going to, I think, I don't know where I'm gonna start first. I don't know if I'm gonna paint the engine bay or start with the motor. I guess that's to be determined. We'll see what happens. But anyways, man, I'm tired. I'm about to go get cleaned up. If you enjoyed the video, go ahead, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. And yeah, always remember, work hard so you live free.